Hey guys, Dave here from Cook and Share, where we cook for the common folk. Well, I've always loved pasta, especially pasta in a nice sauce. And I thought, well, why not take some of these shells, these big jumbo shells you can buy in just about any store, make a filling, lay a bed of sauce over top of the baking dish or a baking tray, and put the filling in, lay them on, and then some mozzarella and sauce over the top. It would be so good. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and make these stuffed pasta beef shells up. So first of all, let's start with our ingredients. We have some marinara sauce, an egg, some Italian seasoning, some salt, some pepper, and of course some onion, garlic, ricotta, Parmesan, some ground beef, some basil that I love so much, some of our jumbo shells, and last of all, some mozzarella. First off the old batteroonie, I'm going to salt up some boiling water here, just so it's just like the ocean. And we shall add in our jumbo shells. And we'll let these cook for about 12 or 14 minutes. And these are about 22 shells. Okie dokie, well, the pasta's boiling. We're going to make up our ricotta mixture by adding a cup of ricotta to a bowl. This was about the most expensive part of the whole dish. Followed by half a cup of Parmesan. Oh, good old Parmesan. Oh, this smells so good. And I'm going to tear up some basil, and we'll add that in too. And I don't know, guys, I just love the smell of basil. It just smells so good. And, I'm just going to add Parmesan, ricotta, basil, and an egg to this. But, you can add whatever you like too if you want to add a little extra. Entirely up to you. And we'll crack up that egg we were talking about. Grab up the whole spoon, and we'll just mix everything together here. This is looking and smelling good already, guys. All right, that's good enough for now. So just go ahead and set this aside. After about 10 or 12 minutes, guys, this pasta is done. So I am just going to strain it out, and I'm just going to rinse these in some cold water because we're going to be working with them. They're going to be really, really hot to pick up and use. So stop the cooking, get them cooled off a little bit here. Next up on the old agenda, I'm going to add a pound of ground beef to a pan over medium-high heat. And we'll just kind of break this up a little bit here. And we'll just go ahead and fry this up until it is a nice brown. Now, guys, as you can see, once we're frying up here, we've got a fair amount of water and grease. So I'm just going to go ahead and just drain this off. All right, we are pretty nicely fried up here. So I'm going to shove everything to one side, and I'm going to go in with half a finely chopped small onion. You want this finely chopped because it's going to go stuffed into those, into the pasta, and 3 cloves of garlic. With a stir and saute this until that wonderful, incredible aroma of onion and garlic fills the air. So a couple of minutes. Now that onion and garlic is pretty well sauteed up and it smells so good, I'm going to mix everything together here. Okie dokie, now we're going to season this up with a bit of salt. Maybe about, I don't know, half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, depending on how salty you want it. Some good old ground black pepper. Of course, I'm going to go heavy on this. So maybe, teaspoon and a half, something like that. And a couple of teaspoons of my all-time favorite, some Italiano or some Italian seasoning. And as always, I'm using the salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning, but you can put whatever else you want in there too. You be the boss of your mixture. That's pretty good right about there. Just give everything a mix up here. And what I'm going to do now is kill the heat. We'll let this cool off for a few minutes because this is going in with that ricotta. Okay, that ground beef seems to have cooled down quite a bit here. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the ricotta mixture. Make sure we get everything out of the pan here. And now, of course, we will just mix everything together. Just combining beautifully, guys. Okay, now it is time to take some marinara and add it to the bottom of my baking dish. Not a whole lot, just enough to cover it. Yeah, something like this, just to make it look all fancy-dancy and get the taste in there. Now, this is just store-bought. I mean, you can make your own, but, It takes so much time. I really can't be bothered. Something like that. And of course, you probably guessed it. We are going to grab up one of these shells, these jumbo shells, and some of the mixture and just begin stuffing here. This is the fun part. A little bit time consuming, but it's kind of fun. Make sure we get right to the end here. Sure, I'll get better at this as I go along. Yeah, just over something like this. That looks pretty good. And of course, we're just going to lay that shell into the bottom of our baking dish. Something like that. That looks cute. And while I'm stuffing here, guys, if you didn't watch last week's video on the chicken parmesan, maybe go back and watch that. It was so good. I would definitely make that one up again. And I got a question for you about the website. I don't know if you've been to the website lately, but check it out and see. There's some good stuff on there. And some people said they'd had some problems accessing it, so I just want to make double sure. So just go to the website, look for a recipe, even this recipe, and pop us a comment. Let me know if everything's kosher and hokey dokey over there. Okay, guys, we got them all stuffed here, and they is looking pretty good. And I got about, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20. The mixture will give you 20, 25, something like that, depending on how much stuffing you put in. But they're looking pretty good to me. Next up, I'm going to grab some of that marinara sauce, and over the top we go. I don't know, you can use whatever pattern or method you like. I'm just using the spoon here. I think these little guys are going to be so good. Then, of course, some mozzarella over that. I just don't want to hide all these shells. We are looking pretty good here now, so what I'm going to do is throw some aluminum or aluminum foil over the top here. And we are going into a 375-degree preheated oven for about 25 minutes. After about 25 minutes, guys, let's have a peek inside here. Oh, this has ever looked good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slip this back in the oven for about 10 minutes just to let it brown up. Alrighty then, guys, we cooked up a little more and we is looking pretty darn good, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and garnish this up with a little bit of basil. Or some basil, I should say. And there you have it, guys, our stuffed pasta shells with beef and ricotta. Ever so good. You are going to love this. Everybody's going to love this. The entire family and even the neighbors. All right, guys, let's grab one of these up here and see what we have. Oh, just look at that. Doesn't it look incredible? And I bet you this is going to be so good. Just that sauce. And the cheese, the ricotta filling. All right, let's do the old taste test and see what we have. This is ever good. Baked really well. The ricotta, the ground beef, the parmesan, just everything goes together so beautifully, guys. Just like a little meal in itself. You gotta make this up. And if you do, leave us a comment because I love to read them. Most of all, like and subscribe because it helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. And, of course, I am going to have more of this yummy stuffed noodles with ricotta. So good.